Don't call yourself anime fan if you don't know these facts about Japan. Japan boasts a total of 28 Nobel Prize winners in various fields, including science, literature, and peace. Japanese train stations employ staff to shove passengers into crowded trains due to the high volume of commuters. Following World War II, Japan's constitution forbids the country from having an army. Instead, they have invested heavily in their renowned bullet trains. When motorists flee from the police in Japan, they are shot with paintballs. This unique technique helps authorities identify offenders more easily. Japan is home to the world's shortest escalator, which has only 4 steps. Surprisingly, it is functional and used by people. Be ashamed of yourself if you don't know these geography facts. Nigeria is like a language treasure chest. People there speak over 520 different languages. Imagine having so many ways to communicate with each other. Most countries have a rule book called a constitution, but not Britain. They're unique because they don't have a written constitution. Instead, they follow a mix of old laws and traditions. Liechtenstein and Uzbekistan, they're the only ones that are doubly landlocked. That means they're surrounded by other landlocked countries and have no coastline. The Netherlands is famous for its colorful tulips, but guess what? None of those tulips are native to the country. They were brought there long ago, and now they're a symbol of Dutch beauty. Japan is famous for its stunning cherry blossoms, also known as sakura. Every spring, these delicate pink flowers bloom all over the country, a tradition called hanami. You're stupid! If you don't know these geography facts, only 0.1% can answer the last question. Did you know that the Pacific Ocean is gradually shrinking each year? It's a fascinating phenomenon that highlights the dynamic nature of our planet. Imagine a sea without any coasts. The Caspian Sea fits this description. It's the world's largest enclosed body of water, surrounded by land but lacking traditional coastlines. Alaska isn't just the westernmost state in the U.S., it's also the easternmost due to its Aleutian Islands stretching across the 180-degree meridian. Lions once roamed freely across much of Africa, but today they are extinct in 26 countries on the continent. What is the national dish of United Kingdom? Comment down below. Don't call yourself anime fan if you don't know these facts about Japan. The ramen shop Ichiraku, which holds a special place in Naruto's heart, is a real-life eatery located in Kyushu, Japan. Despite its Japanese origins, the name Pokemon was derived from the English words pocket and monster, due to the broadcast of an anime adaptation of the book Rascal in 1977. Japan experienced an invasion of North American raccoons. Thousands of these animals were imported as pets and subsequently released into the wild. Osama bin Laden's anime collection. The CIA discovered various anime series such as Naruto, Bleach, and Dragon Ball were also found on Osama bin Laden's hard drive. You! Yes, you! Why don't you know these geography facts? The last one about pyramids will shock you. There's a town in Nebraska with just 1 resident. It's a quirky fact that highlights the diversity of human settlements. If you're not a fan of mosquitoes, consider visiting Iceland. This beautiful island nation is blessed with a lack of these pesky insects. Canada boasts an impressive natural feature. It has over 879,000 lakes. That's the largest concentration of lakes in the world. While Egypt is famous for its pyramids, did you know that Sudan actually has more ancient pyramids than Egypt? These lesser-known structures are equally fascinating and rich in history. This crazy historical story will shock you. In the early 19th century, a notorious figure named Diogo Alves terrorized Lisbon. Born in Galicia in 1810, Alves moved to Lisbon as a child to work in the city's affluent homes. However, he soon turned to a life of crime, finding it more lucrative. By 1836, Alves had devised a sinister scheme. He would ambush travelers crossing the Aqueduto das Aguas Livres, a towering aqueduct, robbing them before throwing them over the edge to their deaths. But what happened next will shock you. This crazy historical story will shock you. Part 2. The fall from the 213-foot structure was fatal. Alves continued this grim pattern, claiming the lives of nearly 70 people between 1836 and 1839. The local authorities initially mistook the deaths for suicides, leading to the aqueduct's temporary closure. Alves then formed a gang of bandits, but their crime spree ended with the murder of 4 people in a local doctor's home. Alves was arrested and sentenced to death by hanging. What followed his execution is perhaps even more macabre. Scientists, eager to understand the mind of a serial killer, preserved Alves's head in a jar for study. To this day, the severed head remains at the University of Lisbon's Faculty of Medicine, serving as a chilling reminder of his heinous acts. Like, don't call yourself Indian! Be ashamed of yourself. If you don't know these basic things about Indian election, with the population of 1.4 billion people, which is nearly 17% of the total world population, India is the biggest democracy in the world. With the general elections in 2024, India hosts the biggest elections in the world. In 2024, there will be an estimated 970 million new voters in India, which is more than the population of the USA, England, Japan, Indonesia, and Vietnam combined. As voting is considered as a fundamental right of each person, the voting booth has been set up even in remote and difficult places, such as the islands of Andaman and Nicobar. Though there are many political parties in India, there are mainly 2 political alliances, NDA and India. Whichever alliance gets the majority of votes wins the election. Like and subscribe for more such content.